This is Dabu7. Some of you out there may have heard a little bit about the Panama Papers here and have some questions as to who's involved and to what extent this may affect certain countries. And hidden in 11.5 million secret files, they're saying that 140 politicians from more than 50 countries are connected to offshore companies in 21 different tax havens. These are elected officials. These are people that have a lot of power across the globe, former world leaders, current world leaders, a lot of best buddies and friends of some of the biggest world leaders out there. This involves connections to Vladimir Putin in Russia, to China, Saudi Arabia. It has the king of Saudi Arabia listed over here on the side. It has Bashir al-Assad. It's a lot of individuals and connections that they had to offshore accounts. Now, this, like I said, digs deep into the details of what these people were doing with their money. They were stashing it in these offshore accounts. They are not paying taxes. It's their way of tax evasion and trying to get away with it. And they funnel this money through all their buddies and their partners. We've talked about how Vladimir Putin is a billionaire. Well, he has some very close friends that are also billionaires that have helped put him in that position. Okay, along with the same tactics being done in China for Xi. So around the globe, you begin to see that all of these leaders are connected to a scandal of massive proportions. And it's not just them. I can assure you that. There are a lot of people that have been left out of this list. Okay, this was targeting what looks to be enemies of the United States or potential enemies or anyone. Okay, you're talking China, Russia, Syria, all these faces and individuals and a few others involved here. But what this has also done has just caused an uproar in Iceland, where the people, instead of sitting on their ass and doing nothing about it, they actually took to the streets en masse in one of the largest protests in Iceland's history, and as of this morning, their prime minister resigned. And that is the power of the people in action. When they come out in mass that strong, and you force your prime minister, and there he is right there, to step down. Iceland has come together many times to prove points, this just being the latest, that they will come together en masse to face this corruption. Other people better start taking notes, because this is what's happening all across the globe. And when they're taking these assets and they're stashing them away and they're making the country suffer, you wonder why there's poverty all over the place. You wonder why things are the way they are. It's because of what these alleged elite individuals are getting away with. It's time people realize what's happening here. There's literally dozens of stories connected in this as to who did what, how, which friends, which countries, which politicians, where the money's going, how much. You're talking billions and billions, adding up to trillions ultimately. And this shows the level of corruption in countries like China and Russia, where it's all about the corruption that runs things for those countries and those governments. And that's simply how it is there. This was released by a group that was said to be connected through a Panamanian group, and also said to have been pushed out here by billionaire George Soros. But I'm going to be digging further on this. This is a lot of information to go through here on each and every individual. Once you get this all open, shout outs to everyone out there that sends me info and that sends me these documents and critical info to get out to other people. It's appreciated. I'll update with more as I tear into this, but on the surface, I wanted to let folks know what this was about and what you're going to find in this and some of the details pertaining to it. I'll leave a link. Until next time, this has been Dabu7. Much love, y'all.